Oh my God.
Programmet presenteras av betsafe.com.
This is Marcus Korva with Studio MMA and MMA Net, and we're here with the coaches of Anthony that we just saw in an interview, and we're here with Nick One Kick Blomgren with a Swedish heritage, and Sergio Penha, who's not from Sweden.
No, I'm from Brazil.
And you guys have worked with Anthony since he came out to Vegas in 2006, 2007, both of you. What would you say is his main strength, except from obviously being a good striker?
I would say his main strength is striking. You know, you mean in fighting?
In general, as a person.
No, I think he's he's got a good personality, and it helps sell him a little more. With getting more recognition, more interviews and things like that.
And Sergio, he said that he feels he's been training jiu-jitsu for 6-7 years, and that you say 2 years. How far has his jiu-jitsu come since he started training?
He's getting better. He's a little by little. He's getting better.
Sergio calls it Ray Charles Jiu-Jitsu.
I think that's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time.
But you ask Nick what's his main strength. His main strength make me nervous.
Why is that?
Because I want his training more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How often do you see him in the gym? How often is he there training with you?
Actually, before his fight, I saw you almost every day. 3 months before the fight, I saw him almost every day.
And the two of you are in two separate gyms. How often do the two of you come together to work, not just with Anthony, but with other fighters as well?
Well, most of the people that train with us, my pros that want to, they come to me and they want me to teach them striking and they want to get into MMA. I tell them, well, I mainly work with Sergio, so if you want to train with me, I think you should go with Sergio as well, because we have a team. We probably have about 8 to 10 guys that train together. I don't train too many people that don't train with him. So I go over there 2 days a week, and sometimes he comes to my gym a couple days a week, depending on what's going on. But we collaborate a lot, and I think it's good for the fighters to get away from one gym to the other.
Right.
Sometimes I don't think it's so good to stay in one spot all day long, because then they get a little stagnated.
And how did the relationship between the two of you, the professional relationship between the two of you, come?
Well, we met a while back. We were talking about opening a gym once. I knew one of his partners that I trained with before, and when they split, then we were talking about doing something together. But he had a bad taste in his mouth from the other coach. So he just wanted to be by himself and do his own thing and not get involved with another partner. So I thought that was probably a good idea as well, because me and him were good friends. We became good friends, and we wouldn't want to ruin a relationship over business. But then a couple of fighters that I had, their coach was screwing up. That was training them at the time. I won't give them any names, but I told my couple fighters that if they want to do well and get better in this sport, the best person that I've ever met in jiu-jitsu would be Sergio Penha. So if you want to train with me, I think you need to train over there. And then it just I took them over there to roll one time, and they tap. They got tapped out 10 times in like 10 minutes. So they were tapping every minute, So they were believers after that, and then they stayed. And then anyone else that came, I said, I work with Sergio better. I've worked with other coaches, but they have a different agenda. They're not looking at what's going on in the fight. They're looking at submit them with my stuff. I only want jiu-jitsu in there. But when Sergio looks at a fight, or we look at a fighter, we know whether he needs to go to the ground or we know whether he needs to stay up. So he's not locked into jiu-jitsu. He's locked into what's better for the fighter. So that's the coach that I needed, to understand the MMA game is some guys need to go to the ground, some guys need to stay up. We know when we're in with a tough striker, the guy needs to be taken down. So if something's not going right, we know how to adjust and coach the guy. Whereas some of the other coaches I've worked with they don't even want to hear what I have to say. Jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu. Even when he's on the ground getting beat with jiu-jitsu, still trying to call out jiu-jitsu moves.
Right.
Whereas when something happens on the ground and we're not comfortable with it, underhook, stand up. Use the cage, stand up. He's not stuck. He's not stuck there, and that's what I appreciate about him, He's a true master.
Now, Sergio, how good would you say Nick's jiu-jitsu is?
Nick's pretty good in jiu-jitsu too. He's understand the game, He's understand the game is in the ground. He's understand the game is when the fights go, we stand up. I think the relationship is good because we understand each other. I don't try teaching those guys stand. I don't try teaching those guys how he's gonna boxing because I'm not boxing guy. I'm not a stand-up guy. That's his Nick job. He's doing very well.
But does Nick come in and roll as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's come Tuesday and Thursday, and sometimes he's pretty raw. He's like raw.
Now, Nick, how good is Sergio stand-up?
Sergio's a black belt in.
That's not good. Sergio's not good to stand.
But you're very, very respected in the jiu-jitsu community. You've been around, and from everyone, from who's considered, if not the best, among the best, Fabricio Verdum to Vin, everyone respects you in the jiu-jitsu world. And now we hear from Nick that you also understand the MMA world, and the two sports, MMA and jiu-jitsu, in many ways have grown apart. Not in a bad way, but jiu-jitsu became its own sport jiu-jitsu. And we see it sometimes that some people don't understand that jiu-jitsu is not the only part in MMA. You didn't fight in MMA yourself more so than you were more focused on the jiu-jitsu. How did you get to realize it, and how do you say that your jiu-jitsu is different from other people?
I think I have an open mind. My arm is very open for everything. I never got focused only on one part, only the ground. It's bad I say like that, but in Brazil you fall a lot, everywhere.
Right.
You understand? It's not. You learning how you're gonna do it, and of course that's soon you learning how you're gonna do it. You just have to move your game for the cage, and it's not gonna be that hard, It's you just you adapt your game for the cage.
Right.
But I think it's not hard for me and not hard for Nick because we have an open mind like that, And I think I have a lot of friends. That's the people talk good thing about me because I have a lot of friends.
Right. Well, it's also you have friends, but people might say, yeah, he's a good friend. No, they say he's a good friend and he's very, very good at jiu-jitsu. And one of the top guys in the game and with the most knowledge. And it shows. You have guys like Stefan Bonner in there and now Andreas Spong, Anthony. They come to you for a reason, to both of you. So it's a sport that you have taken into mixed martial arts with very great success, and we see it in the results of the guys.
He doesn't teach sport jiu-jitsu. It's mean jiu-jitsu.
Mean jiu-jitsu. How many guys? You said you had about 8 to 10 guys, except from Stefan Bonner, Anthony, and Andreas. Who else do you guys have?
We have Chidi, Anthony's brother. Then we have Alex Schoenauer. We have Steve Cantwell. We have a couple new guys coming up. Carl Postma. He's going to be turning pro pretty soon here. And then we're going to have we have a real good 170-pounder coming up right now. A good prospect. His name is Jeff Roman. And you're going to be hearing a lot about him pretty soon. Right now we've been keeping him a secret,
I guess it's not so much anymore.
I like to say like
not
that.
Anymore.
We have a more than I won.
You have more than one.
Yeah, more than I won.
Oh, right. You're too many fighters.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's kind of unusual. A lot of people don't have as many fighters.
actually,
as we do.
who's bring me for the MMA award again? If it's a Nick, because I don't want to.
Yeah, every time I get a good guy, Sergio, I got this guy. I'm bringing him down.
Yeah,
Nick, he's
so-
got to pay like a regular student. No, I'm gonna get to meet this guy. And then we got a couple other kids. We got Mark Dickman, who's 5-0 right now. 12-0 as an amateur, 5-0
wow.
as a pro. You haven't heard of him yet, but we've been keeping him a secret. Once again.
Again, once you breaking all the
Secrets
secrets
keep
tonight.
breaking them, man. And then we got another heavyweight, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry. And they're in a good RFA. These guys are all signed with the RFA.
Oh, now we had Anthony here a second ago, and obviously, especially for you, Sergio, with you being the ground guy, you hear him saying, "Yes, Saturday night, John McDessie, good striker. I'm a good striker. It's all about what the fans want." You guys being the brain, so to speak, behind the fighter, does it make you nervous when he says that?
No.
No.
No, really no. He's gotta prepare. He's doing homework. When I do homework, I'm not worried about the fight. I think it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be an exciting fight. Doesn't matter where the fights go. He stays stand, go for the ground. It's gonna be an exciting fight.
And you, Nick?
Well, in his mind, he wants a submission so bad. I don't see him. This is the perfect guy to try it against.
Right.
He's not a jiu-jitsu guy or a wrestler or anything like that. So why not?
True. You also have Andreas Spong from Sweden fighting tomorrow night in the semifinals of Bellator. You both train him as well.
Yes.
And obviously you had this call before. You got Andreas' late call into Bellator. Who's going to corner Andreas? And how hard is it with as many guys as you have to be there for all of them?
Well, a lot of them, a lot of the guys I have on the same card, some of the lower level shows, so I bring them up in the same card, and then a lot of times we travel and then a week later I'm somewhere else, But it's funny how their fights have been working out. They've been like kind of back to back to back, like they all fight within a week from each other, 2 weeks from each other. So they're all getting ready at the same time.
Which is good, right?
Yeah, which is awesome,
You get to have them in there at the same time.
And Andreas, he's been, we have another coach that works with us named Skipper Kelp.
No, Skipper very well. Great coach too.
And I used to train Skipper as well.
Really?
Yeah, and nobody knows Skip was a kickboxer at one time.
And he was a very good boxer.
Yeah, he was an excellent boxer, great left hook. Had him all ready to go, and then I gave him the price that he would be turning pro in kickboxing for, and he decided, well, I think I'm going to go back to boxing.
It's a little bit better of a pay in boxing.
Yeah. I offered him $1,500 for his first fight. He was like, really? That's it?
Now, Sergio, Andreas, like most European fighters, come from a stand-up background. Great striking, very good hands. How far has Andreas come with his ground game?
He's have a good chance for submit the guy. He's have a good ground. Andrea is for the last I think 6 months, he's come every single day for the gym, and he's learned a lot of new tricks. He can surprise the guy in the ground. And
he trains with a very, very good teammate in Stefan Bonner, who's a black belt under you, right?
Yeah, actually, he's helped a lot when Stefan is going to prepare for his fight. He's come for spar with Stefan. And is a part of the team. Is keep his in shape all the time, and keep it training with the guys heavier than him, stronger than him, and better ground than him. Now, it's that be good, The pay that price, come for the gym every single day, and sometimes he's make my day when he's doing the move, and I showed him a long time ago, and he started doing it now. I said, "Oh, Andreas, you make my day today. Thank you very much."
And it's true, he's always in shape, even though he doesn't always look in shape, because I know he eats a lot of ice cream. But obviously, taking the fight with short notice, how's the weight cut for him? Because he's a big guy. He's a big 185er.
Actually, his he's called me today and text me and say he's make a weight. He's make a 185 today.
He's already well, yeah, because the weigh-ins.
He's already make a 185 today, and is no problem for cut weight. He's no cut weight already, and guarantees tomorrow is gonna be at least 205.
On Tuesday, there was a press conference, and John Jones, obviously the main event on Saturday night, said that his toughest fight in his career so far was Stephan Bonner, and the most intimidating fight, partially because he was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and partially because he said he was like Terminator, wouldn't stop coming, and everything he threw at him, he would stand back up again. Hearing something like that from the UFC world champion, who's by many considered, if not the pound-for-pound best, one of the pound-for-pound best, how does it make you feel as a coach?
Man, it's great for me because I think the same way John think. You know, is Stephan as I think the big horror I see in the UFC is Stephan Bonner. You know, he's not stopping coming. For stopping him, you have to kill him. You know, and man, he's not stop. And every single time he's fought is exciting. You know, and I'm very happy listen about John Jones because John Jones is a tough guy. You know, that's the man. You know, is after his Stephan, he's just kill every single one.
Yeah.
You know, he's got one loss, but that loss is not really lost because until that he got disqualified, he's killed the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and most exciting fight, most tough guys John Jones fought until today is Stephan.
Yeah. I've only been working with Stephan for a couple of years now, but he hasn't lost a fight since he's been training with us together.
And Stephan, we saw it against Kyle Kingsbury. You know, he said he was going to shut up the San Jose fans, and he did. Now you look at the team of you and your guys. You don't look like a fighter. You don't look like a fighter. And Anthony, he doesn't look like a fighter. Stephan is American Psycho, but if you didn't know what he does, he doesn't look like a fighter. And all very, very nice guys. Is that part of the atmosphere, or is it just that those type of guys come to you?
The people tell me this all in my life. You know, sometimes the people back the days when I'm younger, the people talk about Sergio, and when the people the first time he's have a talk to me, I say, you don't look like a fighter, you look like a counter. That's true, but man, how you have to look like a fighter? If you put a good show, if you go for the mat, and you put a 200% every single time, you're a fighter.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have to looking for like a fighter when they're walking. You're a normal guy. If you do a mistake, you say sorry. You shake hands. You gotta be friendly with every single one. You know, talking any situation. Actually, my first job, I'm a pilot.
You're a pilot.
Yeah, I fly for 25 years for Trans-Brazil Airlines. I'm a captain for 767. And 737-300, I fly my whole life. My first job is a pilot. I started training jiu-jitsu with 17, and just because jiu-jitsu don't have I don't make any money, in Brazil. Training with the top Brazilian in that time, but you don't make any money. Then I have to pay my bills for my family. Then what I like to do it, I'm gonna be a pilot. But I never lost the contact with the jiu-jitsu. That's my passion too.
So I almost wish you would have been one of the pilots on 9/11, huh? It would have been a different outcome.
In that situation, it's not going to help my jiu-jitsu.
No, because we're trying to make a story here. You say yes.
Well, we always joke about that because I tell the guys, hey, listen, Sergio, anything happens on the plane, we take care of the problem. Sergio takes care of the cockpit.
And I say, you have to preserve my life. Go there and put your life in risk. I'm going to land in the plane.
That's a good plan. Any predictions on Anthony's fight on Saturday and Andreas tomorrow and the main event, John Jones versus Rashad Evans?
I'm predicting that Anthony submits him.
I like that. From the striking coach. How about Andreas?
I predicting Anthony knocking out him.
And what about Andreas?
I predict Andreas knocks him out.
I predicted Andreas submitting him.
What about the main event?
I like I like John Jones.
Me too. You know, Richard is very good, but John Jones is on fire now. You know, he's.
Since he said something nice about Stefan, I like him now.
How do you think he will win?
I think he knocks him out.
I think he's gonna knock him out.
From two veterans in the sport, predictions for Saturday night main event, knockout by John Jones, and obviously their own guy who is funny. The striking coach is saying submission. Submission coach is saying knockout. We'll find out in 48 hours. Thank you guys for coming in.
The other thing is Rashad knocked out Chuck, who's one of my old guys. I'm still upset about that.
Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you for having us.
Programmet presenteras av Betsay.com.